Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shania, and if you couldn't tell, we're in a little bit of a different setup today. I decided to do kind of a different video in regards to my channel hitting 100 freaking subscribers. That's insane, you guys. Oh my god, I cannot believe it. So I decided in honor of that I would do a little Q&A video so you guys could get to know me a little bit more. Before we get started, I do want to say thank you guys so much for following me. If you're subscribed, if you watch, or if you do like, comment, or just support me in any way. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. It's amazing. I can't believe that we're here, and I love doing this. This is just like an incredible hobby for me, and the fact that you guys care and watch my videos means so much to me. So thank you for that. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me any questions that you guys might have for me, so I'm going to answer those. And then I also do have a list of questions just randomly throughout that are either personal or bookish. So we're going to get into that and answer some of those. Alright, so the very first question is, what is your middle name? And my middle name is Marie. Very average, very typical. It was actually my mom's middle name, so she just carried that down to me. And it's probably for the best because my first name is super weird, and having an average middle name is probably good for me. Alright, the second question is, what is your zodiac sign? My zodiac sign is Virgo. That's my sun sign, but I identify as an Aries, which what I mean by that is that my rising sign is Aries, and then all my qualities that I have are very much inclined towards the Aries traits. So I always just say I'm more of an Aries because I don't act anything like, stop it, anything like a Virgo. If you guys have a cat and you have a fireplace, have you ever seen your cat just like zone out next to the fireplace like they're like in pure heaven? It's the weirdest thing ever. He's got the weirdest look on his face right now. Alright, so the next question is, do you have a nickname? I do. So my name is spelled really weird. If you guys have ever seen it, it's spelled Shanya instead of like Shania Twain's, not with an I, it's with a Y. And so half the time people think it's pronounced Shania or Shayna. So a lot of my friends, what I get called by my best friends is Sean, basically short for Shania. But everybody else, like all my friends at law school and stuff, they call me Shanya. So those are pretty much my nicknames all the time. But I have a crap ton of other ones like Shanae, Naya, like so many other nicknames because my name is super weird. Where are you from? I've mentioned this a couple of times on my channel, but I am from South Dakota and I live in South Dakota. Are you a morning or a night person? I am hardcore a night person, like 100%. I was just having this conversation last night with my parabate, and we were talking about whether we were night or morning people, and she like for sure is a morning person, and I am exactly the polar opposite, and I'm a night person. Like I come alive at 9 o'clock. Like 9 o'clock hits and your girl's awake. So night person, 100%. The next question is, what was your very first concert? I'm trying to remember. I don't know exactly when my very first concert was, but the one that I can remember meaning the most to me was a concert that I went to when I was 7. I saw Toby Keith, and I was obsessed with him. I was so obsessed with him, and that concert meant a lot to me. So I'm going to go with that one as my first concert. So this question's a little weird, but it's, what is the name that you will choose for your very firstborn son? So if I have a son, I'm gonna go with August. I have always loved that name. It's like always been my favorite name. So if I'm lucky enough to have a son, his name will be August. So the next question that I was asked was by my friend, and she said, what is the one true pairing? Like the one true pairing. It's of course Reese and I. I mean, there's no question about that. It's Reese and Shania forever. The next question is, what is your Hogwarts house and your Patronus? So Hogwarts house, what up? Gryffindor's in here. For my Patronus is actually a Thestral, which is pretty cool. On Pottermore, I know that they said like the two most rare Patronuses are the Thestral and getting a dragon as well. So that's pretty cool. That mine's pretty rare. I like that. And it's also a horse that you can only see if you've seen someone die. So like, it's pretty badass. I'm like here for that. So the next question is, what is your favorite color? It's black, for sure. Do you read one book or several books at the same time? I typically only read one book. I try not to do several books at the same time. Frank, get out of the groceries. Where do you usually read? So I usually read either in my bed or on my couch. Those two places I am like permanently stuck to all the time. But otherwise, if I'm feeling like a really bad student, I will sometimes read in class when the lectures are going on. I will just like pull up my computer on Nook or Kindle and read in class, which is not something I am recommending. I am not saying that you guys should do that. It's just sometimes I get bored in lectures and I decide to read. The next question is, what is your favorite book format? So I want to say it's hardcover. That's usually my go-to. And if you would have asked me like 6 years ago, my answer definitely would have been hardcover, like 100%. Always get the hardcover. But I realize now that I have this like really deep appreciation for paperbacks, and especially when it comes to contemporaries, I will always get the paperback. I don't know why, but there's something about having contemporaries in this like floppy form and able to like carry them around, because they're usually standalones. So it's just really nice to have those, I think, in that format. But if it's like a series, I will always go for the hardcovers because I like the way that they look in a completed series. But something else that I really found that I enjoy is reading things on the Kindle or on the Nook, because way back then, again, I was so against reading something on a Kindle or a Nook. I hated that people were buying them because I wanted everybody to have the physical copy, and I felt like it was a cheaper format and the authors weren't getting paid as well, which, like, yes, it is cheaper, but I have found that I really enjoy reading books on my phone, on my Kindle, or whatnot, because it's so much easier, especially, like I said, when I'm reading them in class, because I can just pull them up and it looks like I'm working, but I'm not. But overall, I do have to say that I think my favorite still book format is going to be a hardcover. All right, so the next question is, what was your favorite subject in high school? Definitely English, for sure, like 100%. All right, so the next question is, what was the last song that you listened to? So I was listening to Phineas's new album, which I think came out in October. But it's really, really good, you guys. If you guys don't know who Phineas is, he's the older brother and the producer of Billie Eilish and her music. He's so good. What is your favorite movie? My favorite movie by far is Forrest Gump. I absolutely love that movie so much. You literally have everything that you would possibly want in one movie. You've got love, you've got comedy, you've got history, you've got war, and it's all just like sadness. Everything's just put into one beautiful movie, and it's a masterpiece. Love it so, so much. What is your favorite band? So my favorite band is Cage the Elephant. Oh my gosh, love them so much. If you guys can't see, this is their album back here. I love them like crazy. They're so good. Before that, my favorite band was actually 30 Seconds to Mars, but I don't like their new album that they came out with a couple years ago. I don't know. It's like 2 years ago now. It's called America. I don't really like that. I guess I just don't like the direction that 30 Seconds to Mars is going. They're going really mainstream, and that's not necessarily what I like. So I'm just not a fan as much anymore. But I like their old stuff. But anyways, I really, really love Cage the Elephant. They're my favorite band. And Cage the Elephant is like by far the best concert I've ever been to. It was so much fun. It was crazy. What is your favorite drink? So this depends. If it's alcoholic drink, it's definitely a Bloody Mary. I love me a good Bloody Mary. But if it's not alcoholic, I drink Mountain Dew like it's nobody's business. So, what is your favorite animal? My cats. Hardcore, like my cats. I love them like crazy. What is your favorite holiday? My favorite holiday is definitely Halloween. I love that it's in the fall. You get to dress up as someone new and you get to decorate. It's great. Otherwise, I think my second favorite is probably Christmas. Like, Christmas is great. Any holiday where you have to decorate is probably going to be up there for me. I love it. And I love giving food, which is probably why I like Christmas. And Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's good too. Do you have any siblings? I do. I have 3 sisters. I have one older sister who's 29, and we have the same dad. And then I have 2 younger sisters. One is almost 17, and then one is 11, and we have the same mom. And I love them all to death. I love them so much. Who are your favorite booktubers? So my favorite booktuber of all is Catherine Cassidy. She's so great. She's so funny, and you can definitely tell that her personality really comes out on camera, which is why I think I like her so much. And then I really enjoy Chandler Ainsley here on YouTube. She has a really great channel. She talks a lot about romance, and I really always value her opinions and her recommendations. I think that she always has really, really good stuff and really great things to say about certain books. And then I also love Witty Reads. She's so funny, and she cracks me up more than any other YouTuber. She's just hilarious, and I love the reactions that she has to certain books, and I love that she has a passion for Warner as much as I do, so she's definitely one of my favorites as well. And then for like smaller booktubers, I also really like Wild Sasha. She's great, and Rustic Pages, of course. Kat is awesome as well, so those are my favorites. So the next question is, when do you think you will be getting married? That's a good question. I don't know. Should we ask Tristan? We can ask Tristan. No, I don't need to be lazy. Like, my bitch ass could get down on one knee too if I wanted to. Anyways, I don't know when we're gonna get married. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be like when I'm 25 or 26 or 27. Like, it's definitely within that 25 to 27 range. That's when I could see it happening, but we're not really in a rush right now. We're doing everything that we would regardless, and I'm still in school, so there's literally no rush. Do you read fan fiction? I do not read fan fiction. I have never read fan fiction in the past. I've never had like the urge to read fan fiction because I was always so involved with the book that I didn't really want to like read something else and then get things confused of what was real and what wasn't, even though all of it isn't real. I get that. But like, what was the author's words versus someone that was not the original author, if you know what I mean. I know that they're completely different, but I just never read fan fiction. However, I have recently, like in the last couple weeks, been reading some Cruel Prince fan fiction. It's good stuff. Do you read classics? I do read classics. The last one that I read was Pride and Prejudice. That was back in September, but I haven't read as many as I would like to read. I guess like if you want to count It by Stephen King as a classic, I just read that as well. So the next question is, what is your favorite book that you read in school? So when I was in high school, I don't know if this will technically count, but my favorite like writer was Edgar Allan Poe. He still is to this day, but I would say that my favorite was probably like his collected works. Even though we didn't read all those in school, I read those like on my own time. But like we basically read like The Raven and Telltale Heart and whatnot, but that's probably my favorite. Otherwise, if I had to choose just like a standalone book, it's probably To Kill a Mockingbird, which really isn't that surprising because it takes place, like the big thing about it is the trial, and I'm in law school, so I don't know. A lot of people say that's their favorite from school, but that one's probably my favorite. And then when I was in college, my favorite book that I had to read then was probably The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Do you like when books become movies? I do. I really do. I used to be just like super into it. It was like, I remember in 2014, there was like so many books, like especially YA books that were getting adapted into movies, and it was just crazy. So I really, really do like books being made into movies. I want to do sometime this month a video where I discuss how book adaptations have changed now, specifically where like the movie experience is a lot different from what it was when I was like in junior high or high school. So I plan on doing that soon, but overall, yes, I really, really, really like when books get made into movies. No matter even if they're like trash adaptations, I still really like it. What book have you reread the most? 100%, hands down, I have reread A Court of Mist and Fury more than any other book ever. There's just something about A Court of Mist and Fury that's just so special to me, and what's really important about that is like that's the book that I read every night, or not, well, maybe not every night, but I definitely read it when I can't fall asleep. So because like if I'm reading like a new book, I don't usually want to bring that right before I go to bed because I'll never fall asleep. Like I will continuously read that. So I will always like pull up A Court of Mist and Fury on my phone and read like a scene or a chapter, and I'm able to fall asleep. But I reread that one so much because I love it like crazy. And then the second one that I probably read a lot, maybe not just a book, but like a series, is Shatter Me series. Specifically, Unravel Me and Ignite Me. I read those two so much. I love those two books like crazy because, I mean, it shouldn't even be surprising. My two favorite book boyfriends is Reese and Warner, and I reread those books all the time because I love them like crazy. What books do you currently have on your nightstand? So I don't know, but I'll tell you what I have on my coffee table because I'm constantly reading on my couch, like I said. So I have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead, Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and then Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, which I'm currently reading Eleanor and Park. The next question is, what was the last truly good book that you read? Honestly, I'm probably going to choose Daisy Jones and the Six. I loved that book, and it's definitely like, I think it's legitimately my favorite book I've ever read at this point. It was such a good book. Another question that I got was, what are your future goals for your channel? As a future goal, I just want to be able to keep putting stuff out there and being able to discuss books and maybe do more like book reviews, and not necessarily just like one that's simply focused on one book, but do multiple book reviews into one video. My goal is to also not make my videos like crazy long, but watch, this one will be like super long, of course. But so I guess those are my goals right now. And then the last question that I have is, what do you plan on reading next? So the next book that I plan on reading a bunch. Actually, to give a little shout out, this weekend, Rustic Pages, Kat from Rustic Pages, is doing a readathon where I think she's calling it Wonderland Readathon. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. I'll have it linked down below if you guys want to go check it out and join the readathon. But she's doing that. It's a 48-hour readathon for this weekend, and I'm going to be participating in that. And at this point, I don't have like a TBR for the weekend that I plan on doing. I just kind of want to do whatever I want because I'm a mood reader like crazy. So, but the next book that I do plan on reading, which I'm reading right now, I guess I started today, was Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. But other than that, I do really want to get to Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Also, a book that I really need to get to is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I haven't read that book yet, and I don't know why. So that's probably something I'll be getting to very soon. But I also want to put it into my wish list because I don't have that on my wish list, and I need it. So those are all the questions for this video. Again, I just really want to say thank you guys so much for all your support, for your views, for your subscriptions. Like, thank you so much. And if you guys would be so gracious to like this video, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, that would be great. And if you guys do want to check me out on my social media, I will have that link down below for you guys as always. But other than that, thank you guys again so much. Love you guys like crazy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.